Greetings everyone, and Great here for another Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition replay. Spawn on the left side as the red Gurjaras, we have Caidos101. Spawn on the right side as the blue Turks, we have Shimano _ Poked. Of course, this map has a large amount of gold and stone in the center right there, ready to be collected by either player. Both sides still have a small amount of gold up here. Yeah, it's still a decent amount, not necessarily small, but there's of course a large amount down here. So whoever goes down here first and claims it can get a massive advantage and will likely win the game. Likely needs to perhaps maybe eye for stone first and pull a bunch of castles, but they can easily be trebucheted down quite easily from the high ground. Sorry about that. Let's go and cover each player's civilization bonuses as I recover from my coughing. Gurjaras, their cavalry and camel civilization. Start with 2 4-8 bushes, can garrison mills and livestock to produce food. Mounted units deal plus 20% bonus damage, 30%, 40% damage based on age. And garrison docks and fishing ships. Unique units, chocolate throws, which is if your unit deals damage on a line. And the Shirshama rider, which, if I remember correctly, that is a rider with an alpha strike, or was it the rider with like damage, range damage resistance shield? I forget. And the camel scout, which is a early camel. Unique text, of course, is the Gurjaras. Military units cost 25% less food. Frontiers guard, camel riders, elephant archers get plus 4 melee armor and team bonus. Camel and elephant units create 25% faster. For his opponent, we do have the Turks. They're of course a gunpowder civilization. Gunpowder units get plus 25% hit points. Research gunpowder costs 50% less. Chemistry is free. Gold mines work 20% faster. Scouts, light cavalry, and hussars get plus 1 pierce armor. Light cavalry and hussar upgrades are free. So that's a very nice anti-archer units. We do got now the militia upgraded to man at arms. Unique unit hands janissary, which is a unique hand cannoneer. Specify cavalry archers get plus 20 health, and artillery plus 2 range on bombard cannons, bombard towers, and cannon galleons. Team bonus gunpowder units are created 25% faster. This wood line has been walled on in, though this house may need some repairs. Those men at arms currently moving around uncontested. Blues currently gets going for some scouts. The scout is scouting around. Red space is not very well fortified at the moment, very open. Blues is has a bit of a encirclement coming on in. Villagers trying to get some of this food here out, some of this foray. And this house is getting repaired up by a villager. Blues are trying to mass up some scouts, getting ready to push on in. The villager, it looks like it is out repairing the damage, so he can hold this indefinitely, but it's going to be a constant drain on his economy, as well as plus 1 villager not collecting. Blues ahead by 1 villager at the moment. Now we've got the villagers and the skirmishers trying to engage the man at arms and the camel scout. Camel scout will go down. Man at arms now, of course, see a bit of fire. Villagers have to be manually tasked each time. And the man at arms do go down now, so now these villagers can go ahead and collect some foray. Sorry about that. Scouts are, of course, a little bit wounded. He could push forward. Even just keeping sort of dancing around opponent's space will keep him contained in space, preventing him from pushing forward. We have some archer units being pulled out of the field, but of course the Turk player does get additional pierce armor on the scouts. So right now the scouts are up to 3 pierce armor. Going for another pierce armor could make it so that those archers, once they get flushing upgraded, maintain doing 1 damage. Scout cavalry now eyeing perhaps engage this region down here. We got single spearmen for defense. Now these scouts are quite wounded, so the bonus damage will be quite significant, but it's going to take time to focus down this spearman. Does not get any of the scouts there, and now the villagers will receive some fire from these scouts. One villager does go down. Does take out another villager there. Spearman does go and get a kill there on one of the wounded scouts. And now the scouts going to be backing it off, perhaps trying to eye another engagement. Red is going at 29 villagers, opponents at the Turks at 30. He's got more scouts being pulled on the field. Now, there's actually is quite a heavy investment into food-based items or food-based units. There's going to need a lot of food, a lot of farms, which also means he needs a lot of wood. Oh, that's stone just in a line of 4 right there. Interesting. More and more scouts have been put on the field. So that's 8 scouts on the field. Over here, we do have 5 archers. So these archers are not going to do much. He does have fletching upgrade. No pierce armor upgrade on these scouts just yet. So these archers will do 2 damage each, which is still not very good. These archers are going to have to remain on defense. We do have these spearmen on. Looks like on a bit of a patrol move. And now it looks like trying to wall in this region. 2 scout spearmen here, but I think these scouts can easily overwhelm them. Archers, 6 archers here for defense. He needs more spearmen. Scouts to receive a bit of damage right there. Spearmen trying to push the way forward, trying to get some damage as well. And more housing just trying to protect these wood lines. Looks like blue's going to be backing off. You got these archers advancing forward. This blue scout may spot it. If he does spot it, then these scouts can actually push up and flank them behind. And blue does spot these archers. Would not, if he actually realized he spot the archers, another matter. Yep, now he's in pursuit of these archers, trying to deal with them. We got a nice little watchtower here. Firing some volleys of arrows onto these archers. Archers trying to push way forward. He does only have 3 villagers inside. Need 4 to get all the arrows firing. But does get into murder hole range. Or lack of murder hole range. And these scouts going to push forward and quickly annihilate all of these archers. 1 scout does in fact go down. 2 of them go down. And a 3rd scout does in fact go down as well. Granted, a couple of those were quite wounded. But now these scouts can be eyeing counterattack. He did get, of course, a villager. Right now the villager count is 39 to 39. And this bird is flying very low. Probably due to the fact because of this, it was spawned over this region. I don't know why. The fact that these birds are flying so low is just sort of funny to me. Actually, they literally flew through the buildings. You actually don't really see that all too often. We still got Castle Age being employed out by blue. Red is going for Castle Age as well, getting out some camel scouts, trying to eye to counter these scouts with camel scouts. We can always upgrade them to scout camel riders later on. Scouts pushing way forward, trying to find an angle there. Camel scouts is now trying to charge way forward. There's currently 6 camel scouts plus a spearman archer support. And these scouts will need to fall on back. Once he gets into his castle age, he will get immediate access to the light cavalry, which could help him out versus this engagement. But probably the camel scouts will be effective versus these regular scouts. Now we've got the light cavalry deployed on out. And he's going to be drawing them towards this watchtower now. More light cavalry deployed on the field. The more light cavalry deploys on the field, the more likely Red has to stay in his base. Blue's not claiming up this gold here, going for his backline stone. His gold is pretty far forward, while stone's very safe in the back, while Red's is pretty much safe in the back. Sorry about that. Blue or red could eye for some early castles in order to be deployed out in the middle of the map. I see these villagers advancing forward. He may not have enough stone just yet. He's probably saving up stone. He may be eyeing for a forward town center. Currently, he's not collecting any sort of stone. Designed for a 4-town center, help claim this gold and stone. There's a lot of gold here. Those deposits back in the initial base time, which is 4 times 2. This single deposit here has 10. So this gold here is more than what he ever started out with. And there's like 7 other gold deposits like that. So we're now getting focused down by these light cavalry. Light cavalry is going to receive a lot of damage there. Now got the camel riders trying to engage these light cavalry. And I do hear now the camels are starting to engage the camels. I think the camels will defeat the camels because there are more camels than the camels. And all the camels do in fact go down. We got these light cavalry backing on off. They're going to be pursued. He has currently 9 camels pursuing him. It is currently 8 light cavalry there. We got a handful of defensive camels here. The Gurjara players, of course, can't get the heavy camel upgrade. Can the Turks can? They can eventually get heavy camel as well. Looks like we do have this monster being deployed out right there. These camels are advancing forward, trying to find engagement. And the wood line does not create a hole right there, so I have to be very careful not to create additional holes. Trying to reinforce his walls with some housing, very nice. And right now it doesn't even have a force to deal with these camels. There's 12 camels there. He has 7 of his own. Handful of light cavalry pushing way forward. Receiving some air towns to the fire. Thanks to the additional pierce armor, the light cavalry can withstand a bit of abuse. They have 5 pierce armor at the moment. Town center has 6 damage, so each arrow does. The initial arrow does 1 damage. All additional arrows will do 1 damage as well. It looks like a large number of these palisade walls will go and go on down. Housing will be next. Camels trying to rotate over. There's 9 camels here versus 12. Light cavalry does find the wood line there, but is going to be pinned down there by various camel riders. All the light cavalry will go and go on down there. Camels now trying to pursue the camels. Red, of course, has more camels. Just a little bit more wounded, though. Blue's camels start engaging forward. Red's camels still having trouble getting a wraparound, but now Blue's camels getting overwhelmed. Blue's camels are up to 120 health. Yeah, they're both currently at 120 health. And all Blue's camels go down. Only 3 of Red's camels go down as well. And the fact that he had had more wounded camels, so surprised that only that many went down. We do now have a castle being poured down here on the low ground, trying to help secure that region. And these camels still trying to break on through. One house does go on down. The towns, these housing will receive a bit more fire there. He doesn't have any archers to throw arrows at them. Remember, these camels have 0 pierce armor. One does have 2 armor as well. And now with the camels all against each other, the town center of Castle of Fire, Red's camels could easily go down right there. Red's camels starting back on off. And Blue's now eyeing to collect some of this much needed gold in the middle of the map. Janissaries, they know how to deal with villagers. Does actually get too close to that town center there. Gets destroyed there. Should put the set edge of the area and put on full ground since more Janissaries been pulled out in the field. Red's now eyeing for his castle. Blue could actually eye for some stone here and start pulling out multiple castles in this region to help secure the area. Got another mining camp here, but there's a large number of camels in this region. You may not realize there's actually a large number of camels. We do have a pair of monks here. And Red is just pulling out more and more camels. We do got some archers here. They do have fletching. And now more and more Janissaries been pulling out of the field. Got Blue's going for another town center now. Blue is behind the villagers, 57 to 66. While because his opponent had this town center down here for quite some time. And now got this more damage onto these housing once again. He's starting to repair up some of these housing with his villagers, but those handful of archers will prevent them from actually repairing those up. Very, very good play there, having those handful of archers. This house will go down relatively shortly. These camels are streaming on in, receiving lots of fire there. One camel does go down, villagers are exposed. If you got a convert there, it does claim one of these camels. This camel was put in the whole ground stance. Now we quickly overwhelmed. But I do hear some Janissaries here. Yep, we got a firing squad of Janissaries gunning down multiple of these camels. Our blue does lose a handful of villagers as well. Janissaries are making their advance. Archers are faced for as well, getting gunned down by these Janissaries. Janissaries just have straight damage. I don't think they get bonus damage like the regular hand cannoneers, but never heard of just straight damage sometimes. Good volley there. Sounds like they're getting some great shots onto these camels. Now started sending these Janissaries. Now starting to hold the line. And none of these Janissaries do go down, which means these monks that are still in the region could heal them up. Blues now has this town center here, also confirmed mining camp here. We may see a bit of a triple war eventually as both players get to Imperial Age. In fact, both players should really eye a quick Imperial Age. We do now have some chariot riders being pulled on out. Archers gain some damage on these villagers, being gunned down by these Janissaries. Sorry about that. Now I do have some armored elephants being pulled on the field. They of course have 140 pierced armor, so Janissaries will not be able to engage them. However, the camels can. Can a monk convert a armored elephant, or is it classified as siege unit? Oh, it's not trying to convert them, so likely not. We've got multiple castles now being pulled out on the field. Blue will get the castle up going. He needs to get these villagers inside that castle as soon as possible. Yes, he does. Now there's going to maybe a bit of castle war there. Armor elephants still getting some good damage there. These camels are trying to deal with those armor elephants as we bring up this castle right now. This castle does have additional arrow fire. He can throw the Janissaries in for more protection, more arrow fire. Red's village is starting to get annihilated here. Red's castle's now at 9%. Do have... Oh, these are not the... Oh yeah, you don't get camel the camel riders. I'm thinking of the wrong one. You get not camel riders, the chariot riders. You get the charcoal throwers, which are the circle throwers. Blue's castle's now trying to hit these villagers. Very nice. Looks like it doesn't have ballistics at the moment. Oh yeah, charcoal throw circles. They should be very fit for this Janissaries, right? Hoop throwers are pretty good, if I remember anything from Age of Empires 3. They know how to deal with Janissaries. You got some more armed elephants being pulled out on the field. Another castle being pulled out by Blue. It's going to be a bit of a castle war in the center map. Let's switch back to Blue. We do got some Petars on the build queue for Red. Petars are starting to connect. Janissaries are seeing some fire there. Castle killers can get some extra arrows by throwing the Janissaries inside of them, which will probably be a little bit safer than trying to gun down the armored elephants to stop the castles from going down. We do not have murder hole technology just yet for Blue. And got now more castles being pulled on the field. That one castle has gone down. Elephants are seeing a bit of fire there. May need to get a monk out to heal it up. Blue's castle still receiving some damage, but it's getting repaired on up. Red's castle is still quite healthy. Got more Petars being pushing forward, but it does get gunned down there. Camera riders pushing way forward, all of them severely wounded. Can't really rely on the fact of murder holes because there's two castles nearby. Villagers now starting to get gunned down by these Janissaries. Very, very good. We got some more Shimashava, I don't know how to pronounce them. Bamasha riders are being put on the field. Armor elephants so far has been so far uncontested. He needs to pull out his own battery rams to deal with these armored elephants properly. Can't really get close because of the nearby castle of melee units. But now the Janissary is advancing forward, trying to gun down some more of these villagers. Blue has currently 86 villagers, opponent has 82. Armor elephants are slow going down. Let's claim some of this gold and more stone here, because we have plenty of stone for repairs. Armor elephants are being. He needs to focus fire as well. Focus on the low health one. More elephants are for armored elephants advancing on forward. This castle's almost down. He's focus fire and does lose the castle now. Shermashva riders are now engaging onto these Janissaries, trying to back themselves in the corner. Remember, the riders do have damage resistance due to Pierce with that ability of theirs. Armor elephants trying to deal with the last castle here. Just have not been able to deal with any sort of counter to them just yet. He's got wheelbarrow there. Red's not going for Imperial Age either. Both some players are just content on Castle Age. But now these armored elephants are exposed. Villagers need to don't repair, but actually shank the armored elephants. Armored elephants are starting to be focused down by the Janissaries. More housing being pulled out over there. More armored elephants being pulled on out as well. Red's also going for a wheelbarrow now. The sound are just seeing still more cast of fire. As Blue's going for Imperial H just yet? Yeah, Blue's not going for Imperial H, going for some light cavalry as well. Probably be a bit suicidal to deal with these armored elephants. A lot of these riders have lost their shields. And now they've been started gunned down by these Janissaries. More and more riders try and push their way forward. They're able to stand quite a bit of abuse from these Janissaries. More armored elephants being pulled on the field, so these armored elephants will take out this castle. Armored elephants getting some good damage there. Bring more villagers trying to repair up this castle. Blue also has less villagers as his opponent right now. And now he's supposed to find trying to stab these armored elephants. Last, the castle goes down. He still has this fresh one back here, but there's some light cavalry here to support it as well. Blue's almost on Imperial Age. Red is now have Imperial Age queued up, but it is still behind the villager. Once he gets out to Imperial Age, he's able to pull out some trebuchets to deal with this castle that's been in the butt for quite some time. And Blue is going for a lot of stone here. He's going to try to collect as much stone as possible to lay down some more castles, likely. Oh, I just saw this up here. We've got the riders pushing me forward. Just take out a couple of villagers up there. And Red is taking time to collect up some relics. 2 relics will be claimed. Light cavalry now charging forward. Gain some damage there onto these riders. And does have the fresh Hussar upgrade now deployed on the field as well. Red still is going to put some camel riders there trying to counter up those Hussars now he's fighting against. And Blue's now playing out his first trebuchet. He does definitely need a handful. Houses are not being repaired on up. Janissary is trying to protect these villagers. Get some damage there. More of these riders are starting to go on down. Light cavalry now coming to hit those riders. And these riders are getting focused down by these Janissaries. They're just a little bit too many Janissaries for these riders to do a lot of work. Got a good number of armor elephants here. The armor elephants can push forward, try to punch down that trebuchet, but the Hussars, of course, can't stop the armored elephants given enough time. Red's now gone to pure age as well, like to pull out his own trebuchets. 2 blue trebuchets pull out the field. Riders now pushing way forward. They're going to go on a suicide run to deal with these trebuchets. They receive a lot of volley fire there and having trouble with the movement to get to those trebuchets. Hussars are now trying to close the distance as well. These riders maybe will get one trebuchet. They do get one trebuchet, but they're unable to secure the other. Blue's not going for another castle here. And now we've got some more of these Hussars advancing on forward. More camel riders, more Shamatra Fuzz riders. I really need to sit down and take a look how to pronounce that stuff. A lot of light cavalry Hussars here. Large number of them quite wounded. Armed elephants trying to charge, push their way forward. And they can be quickly focused down by these Hussars. Castle has been built now, and these armored elephants will not be able to secure the kill there on this castle. More trebuchets being pulled out of the field. Red now has a pair of trebuchets pulled out as well. Looks like the third trebuchet as well. Armored elephants have been cleaned up. More riders pushing forward, trying to deal with these trebuchets. These Hussars can, of course, block the advance of these riders. In fact, there is actually a nasty choke point there, only allowing one of these riders to actually engage. Janissaries in the region does lose this castle here, reducing the number of trebuchets you can pull out at a time. Red's having to repair up that castle quite significantly. Now this town center has finally gone down. He still has some depositing areas nearby, so Blue can maintain some income, but some of these villagers being hit by the castle now. The riders now sort of in full move order there, getting picked apart by these Hussars. Got 4 trebuchets here to pull it up by Red. Blue has 3 at the moment, but this castle does finally go down as well. Camera riders push away forward. Janissaries trying to advance forward as well. Trebuchet now under fire from these various riders from Red. And Blue is at Popcat. Blue's those castles put him in Popcat, severe Popcat. Trying to pull out some houses here. Blue will win out this engagement here, has plenty of forces. We do now have the Janissaries pushing forward, trying to gun down some of these trebuchets. These Janissaries need to hit the camel riders, the Hussars, and there's a couple of nice ones to deal with the trebuchets. Janissaries are mostly down. We got another fresh castle being plotted over there, but immediately gets destroyed by these trebuchets, so does lose all that stone for nothing. Red's cavalry has gone down. Red needs to sort of play around this castle now. Blues need to get his trebuchets forward. Now going for a siege workshop here. Blue also needs to pull out some more housing, potentially, because he was at Popcat earlier. And pulling out some more camel riders and Hussars right now. More camel riders being pulled out by Red. Blue's also eyeing for the stone. Red's eyeing for a massive deposit of stone right there. Got the Hussars engaging the camel riders. Not going to go good for the Hussars. Got these knights in this reach as well. A handful of Janissaries will remain as well, finding good fire support. Looks like Blue's winning the treble war right now, getting a bit more luck at the random hits. Red does get the trebuchet repaired on up. And Blue's frontline cavalry will go on down. One Janissary remains, a couple other sporadic knights and other forces. Now got the heavy camel rider upgrade for Red. And Blue's going to cast GG and back out of the game now. This is Anagram saying thank you for watching, and on to the next replay.